I think you're going to like this interview with these two ladies. We have people ask us all the time who are looking at getting into our business, do you have to have any background in the medical field? Well, these two ladies actually do have some background. Now, remember, 95% of our licensees don't have any background and are very successful, but these two ladies worked for doctors in their offices and saw the need for medical billing being done outside the office, so they got involved with ABS and started their own business. I think you'll like their story. Let's see, I'm here with Amy Connelly and Carla Rich. They're up in the Ohio area, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for taking time to do the interview. I guess we start with when you guys came back through training. When was that?
It was actually about a year ago. It was in September of last year.
Okay, yeah, just a little over a year. And what were you both doing before you came down to our training?
We were both working full-time, doing medical billing, some office managing in separate offices.
Carla is a little bit off screen. In other words, if you could point the camera just a little bit, yeah, there you go.
We saw the money that was being lost in the offices.
Right.
Because it's too much work for, the office manager or whomever is appointed. The money gets lost because it's too much work for that person to do everything.
Yeah, so you actually saw a big rejection rate, and you didn't have time to do the follow-up on the denials?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, just taking the time to do the appeals, but, just posting the check and getting that done in addition to all the other duties you had in the office, those kind of got set aside and not really worked in the time that they needed to be done, and so then that was lost money for the office.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of things going on in the doctor's office, right? And getting to the billing is the hard part for them, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so...
But it's supposed to be priority.
Yeah.
It should be, you'd think. It
shuts
down.
You do the easy stuff, but then when you get a denial, then you put it in a pile, and the pile just builds and builds, and you have a time frame. And so we saw a need. First of all, we were overworked and kept saying it's too much for one person. And then we thought we're not the only two offices like this, and we saw a need and thought maybe we could help.
That's a great story. I mean, that's what people need to hear, isn't it? Is that there really is a need out there. Some people the first question for a lot of people who are not in medical billing is, well, why would a doctor need me? Why can't they do it themselves in their own office?
Right. Well, some doctors say that to us all the time. Why would I outsource? But eventually they find themselves in that position too, and
yeah,
it's just, they don't want to give up control, and they're not giving up control by hiring us. They have all the control. We just do the busy work behind the scenes.
We went in just on a referral from someone that we knew to a doctor, and we, kind of pitched our billing to him, but he had somebody working in-house, and so he really was like, I don't need the billing part of it, I just need the EMR side. So we implemented the EMR side into it, but as we were in there in his office, then it was, can you help me do this? I might need you to clean up some stuff. And now it's like he's completely turned over his billing, just do it for 6 months. And now I'm going to hire you full time, and we just want you to do it all now. So once you get in there and they see that, and they start trusting you and knowing that you're there to help them, then kind of changes.
Yeah, the story changes. That's right. Well, that's why we tell people, get in with whatever you can, whatever service interests them at the time, because once you're in, you're on the inside at that point, right? You're a friend. You're not a stranger. And that story happens all the time to licensees, is that they started with the EMR, for example, or maybe the auditing, or
yes,
quick collect or whatever, and then all of a sudden they go, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? They want to give that up. They just don't have that, the trust.
Right.
Absolutely, the trust.
Yeah, it's all about we do business with people we know, like, and trust. And until we get to know that person and begin to trust what they can do for us, it's hard. That's their money.
Right.
It's their money, sure, and we understand that. And now the doctor that we're working for, who started out saying, no, I don't need you for this, I don't, just show me your EMR program, literally in 6 months has done a total turnaround. He's like, here, can I give you my bank account? Here, can I give you this here? And we're like, no, we don't want that. He's a little too trusty.
Yeah. Well, that's where some doctors get in trouble, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I've heard horror stories of some office manager having complete control over the bank account, and some of those checks just somehow got into, her bank account or his bank account. Yeah.
Right. Or her bills got paid out of his account. So
yeah.
Now, which of you actually started looking online and found ABS?
That was me.
Yeah?
I mean, I just started, I didn't know if there were franchises out there. I mean, I knew that the software program that was used at the office that I worked at, I knew that that you could purchase it and, buy their software and start using their software for your billing practice. But so, I mean, I was just kind of trying to get pricing as far as what would it cost. But our biggest hang up when we talked about starting a company is, how are we going to market ourselves? What exactly are we going to do in our service, to the providers? What all is going to be included, and how do we get all our information out there? So when I saw ABS, it was like, here's all this stuff and additional things that we can do in addition to just the billing. And they're teaching us the marketing and all the stuff that we had questions about. So that was the attraction to finding it. So
yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate you locating this and getting involved. Let's go back to the training, though. When you both came, yeah,
yes.
And what was your impression during the week? Give me the behind the scenes that went on between you after day one. What did you think?
We were totally
thrilled,
impressed.
Yeah.
Right. We thought, this is great. They're going to teach us how to do all this stuff, because that was our biggest hang up, was how are we going to market it? So if you're giving us all the tools and all the stuff,
we knew how to do exactly. We would go to our hotel room at night, and we had been invited out to dinner and stuff, and we're like, no, we have homework to do. We took it very seriously, so that it was still fresh in our head. Yeah, no, we were very impressed. That was the priceless part about the training, is that you gave us the skills to go out, and then we still had to sell our company, but you taught us how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we, of course, give you, maybe a dozen different ways that you can go out and market. So what did you do to get this first client?
Cried. No, just kidding. We joined the
chamber.
Yes.
And someone recognized recognized my name in the chamber book and knew that we were starting, went out as a new member company and saw that our name was on there. So contacted me and said, I saw that you started your business. Do you want to meet and bring me some of your stuff? So we just met at Panera and gave them our brochure, and, because we had gone and ordered some other additional stuff with kind of like our logo and different stuff on it, in addition to the ABS stuff. So we did the folder with all our services in it, and then our brochure. And so he knew a couple clients that he already currently had. And so he showed it to this one doctor, and then that doctor called, and we set up the appointment. And so that's how we got him.
So somehow I missed, who was this particular guy, a member of the chamber?
No, he was, he also belonged to the chamber, but he's a financial advisor.
Oh, and he had doctors as clients.
Right. Yes. This doctor and his wife, she's also a doctor, so they were his client. So he, gave him the information, and that's how we got it.
So it was a combination of a business networking and kind of like your warm market, and
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes.
We do some mailings. We bought some different kind of postcards to come in and clean up their accounts receivable right now, and not necessarily have them do our billing right now, but just the same type of thing, just to get in to offer some type of service. So we kind of offered that. So we have had some interest in that also, getting it that way.
What kind of volume does this first OBGYN have? Volume-wise, a number of claims, for example.
He probably sends out, I think I looked on his thing, it was a couple hundred every month maybe. He's in the office 3 full days, and then he does surgery on one day, and then he works I think half a day on Friday. Found some things that were wrong with his billing that we've been able to correct and get additional money for him, just like billing a wrong code or billing wrong units with the code. So we were able to, increase his stuff with that. So
great. And you signed this up back in April. So have you been actually doing some billing yet, or are you just getting cranked up?
Yeah, no, we were helping them set up their stuff, and then he hired us to clean up his old stuff. So we were doing that for him and keeping up with his current on the new system. And now he's just completely given it to us. So so it was kind of nice because we gradually eased into
your
it.
way in there, yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes people think they want a big account, maybe with several providers all at once. No, that's not the way to start this business, is it?
No,
not if you want to be successful. I mean, my word, you have to. Our motto is we're going to take our first client and just coddle him and do everything he needs so that he succeeds, so that we then look good and he'll pass us on.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we teach, is make that first doctor just so thrilled that they made that decision that they want to tell their buddies.
Yeah,
right.
Now, just yesterday, he said, okay, we need to have a morning breakfast. Can you meet me? I want you to tell me this. He talks to us about everything. Now, he truly trusts us.
Mm-hmm.
And he, talks to us about his employees. He talks to us about his money, the income coming in. It's a beautiful relationship. I'm thrilled that we have it.
That is great to hear. I love that. That you've become a trusted advisor.
Advisor, yes.
Yeah. Tell me about the pricing on this particular account. Did you charge a setup fee of any kind?
We did do a setup fee, and then we were charging him a monthly fee for the EMR, because he did get the EMR and the practice management together.
Let's see. I'm looking at the agreement here. Is that 6%? Is that what you actually charged?
Right now, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're charging him for the billing part of it.
Right.
And when we proposed it, it was our first proposal.
Right. Plus, it was just supposed to be for the 6 months, just to do his cleanup with the other and keep up to date with the new stuff that was that was
it was
being
just a
sent
short
out.
term. And when we said, well, we want 6% of what we bring in, he's like, oh, I'm thrilled with that. Okay. So I thought, all right, well, good, because that's what we were worried about. Yeah. So next time we'll learn from that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love to hear that, because surely it dawned on you when he said, oh, yeah, I'm thrilled with that. Well, we could have probably said something a little higher, right? Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Never hurts to charge more, right? Doctors don't necessarily pay the least for everything in your life. Go ask him what car he drives. Okay? So
Mercedes,
Yeah. So why did he pick a Mercedes at $80,000 when he could have driven a car just with all the features for $40,000? People do not necessarily buy on price.
Tyranny in training talked about, her Lexus, and she loved that she bought a Lexus and it came with a basket and it made her feel so special that we kind of want to market that way. So people know that they're going to pay a little higher of a price, but they're going to be treated and felt special. But on our first client, we just wanted to know that we could actually get a client.
Sure.
And do well.
There's nothing wrong with that. So give me a feel for the average of his, his actual billing, each bill. Is there an average number?
I would say he probably brings in between $40 and $50 a month.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah, that's safe, yes.
That you're actually going to be collecting?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's what he's bringing in. That's not what he's billing out. That's what he actually collects.
Oh, I got you. Okay. He's bringing in, let's say, an average of $45,000 a month. You
right.
guys are, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so you're getting, you should be getting close to $3,000 a month off of that account.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been working with him for about 6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
And we've probably gotten about 30-some hundred.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, because we bill him bi-weekly. So our bills have, based on what we've collected, we charge them the percentage, and yeah, our bills have all been over $1,000. The first one was $1,000. The second was $1,100, and this last one we just gave him was $1,600. So obviously we're bringing more money in for him already. Our bills are going up, so yeah.
That's going to grow. It can't but get any better, and he's got to be thrilled with that, right?
And he is, and he already made a comment the other day to Amy that he already sees a difference, in his account. So that's all we wanted.
That's what you like to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he'll buy both of y'all a Mercedes. Who knows?
Maybe.
I'm thinking not.
We're getting breakfast at least.
We get breakfast.
We get breakfast, so that's good.
Oh, he pays for the breakfast. Well, that's great.
Absolutely.
All right, so this is a great first account for you ladies. I mean, it's obviously not going to provide a full-time income for both of you, but you can do the math in your head now, right? Hey, if we had two of those,
Another 3 or 4 months, we'll be on top of it.
Yeah. Do you live in fairly close proximity? How do you work? Are you both working out of your homes, or do you come to one house?
We come to one house mostly until the time when the kids get out of school. And then depending on what's going on with them in the evenings, we'll work individually from our own house. So that's kind of how it works.
We come together. We have an office above the garage strictly for us. And it certainly can be done from my home and her home separately. We just come together. All the paperwork's there. We concur, all of that. But
so whatever then we need to be done for the day, then Amy will take her stuff and say, okay, I'm going to work on this stuff tonight. And I take whatever and say, okay, this is what I'm going to work on tonight. And so then, and then the next morning we say, okay, we got this done, or we, posted this much or whatever.
That's just what works for us.
Yeah. About ABS, how has our support been what it should be?
Love them.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yes.
They answer all of our questions. Sometimes there's a question posed that they don't really know, and they'll say, okay, I'll get back with you. And just last week, it was a couple of days, and I thought, oh, she must have forgot, and I've moved on. And do you know, she called and said, okay, we've looked into it. I've talked to the clearinghouse and gave us an answer, and they are wonderful. Email, phone, anything.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of it now. We have him, and we know.
We just needed to know that someone would believe in us.
Right.
And honestly, for that, we're so grateful that, I'll do anything the man wants me to do. Do you want me to wash your car? I'm there. Just kidding. We're just so grateful that, it was affirmation that Amy and Carla, you can do this.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew. I mean, we have enough background that we can do the job. I mean, we know different stuff, and we come with, different things that some of your licensees come with no knowledge whatsoever. So I think sometimes that helps them, and sometimes it hurts because for us, because we were in the business, in the medical practice and kind of saw different things, I think sometimes we overanalyze some of our thinking when we're trying to decide what we're doing.
Yes.
Because we know where the licensees might not have that, so they're just like, hey, we're going to bill it out and see what happens, and if it comes back rejected, then we know for the next time, and so
yes, anyone, you don't have to have knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, I was impressed with Tierney when we came down, only because she said she didn't have any background, and for her to build her business that way and learn all of that kind of stuff, I gave her credit.
We keep in contact with 2 women from St. Louis. They work together, and we encourage each other, and I would encourage all of the trainees and licensees to do this, to kind of just work in a group. Support each other, because when they're down, we're saying, do this, do that, and they did the same for us.
Well, and that's part of why we have our webinars for licensees on a regular basis. Not just to give out information, but a lot of those are just pure motivation and encouragement and stories of success, Well, I wish you guys the best. I think you're on your way to success. I don't see how you could possibly do anything but just continue to grow this business. You guys have just been awesome.
We have 2 contracts in the...
Yeah, we have 2 contracts out waiting, and we have one other person call us,
So if you want to call back next week, we'll tell you. No.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do the interview today.
Thank you for all that you've given us.
Thank you for the iPad.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Take care, Patrick.
All right. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.